Welcome back, Pokemon Trainers. Professor Chaz here. The lab coat's on back order, and it's time for episode number 91 of our Pokemon Pearl playthrough. Don't worry, we're almost done. We're pretty much at the end of it here. As you can see, we're at this pretty weird-looking place. We're at the end of Stark Mountain, where the Magma Stone was rumored to have sat. I don't remember seeing an item in here, though. So Buck and I came walking in here. Buck, of course, said, "Oh, we're going to go as a team." As soon as we get here, he abandons us. He goes and snags that Magma Stone, and off he runs. I'm left here looking at this. What is that symbol? It's not Omega. I've seen this kind of pattern before, though. I'm not sure what it is. Anyways, in this episode, I don't know if we're going to do all the exploration of Stark Mountain, because like I kind of want to speed through and get to the next part of the story here. We got to find Buck, because he took that Magma Stone, and we got to find a quick way to get out of this cave. Gee, what could we possibly do? What? Can't dig out of Stark Mountain. Are you kidding me? I bet we can do it here, though. So there's still some items we could pick up. But we're going to head out this way. We got to find Buck and get that Magma Stone. Because it has something to do with, I guess, a mythical, legendary, something or other Pokemon. So we'll see what we can find out. But, of course, let's start off with our team recap. First up, we have Charizard, or our Charizard, Blaze, namely, at level 64, holding Razor Claw. He is a quirky Pokemon with the Blaze ability, as well as nickname. Moves are Flamethrower, Dragon Claw, Fly, and Cut. Next up, we got our Clefable, Fluffy at level 64, the Johto Dragon Slayer. She has the Quick Claw held item. She has a sassy nature. The ability is Cute Charm. And we have Ice Beam, Metronome, Calm Lined, and Moonlight. Yeah, I messed up. Whatever, let's keep moving. Rocky, our Sandslash, is next up. You just saw him digging away. Level 64, holding Hard Stone. He is a naive Pokemon. Sandveil ability, and Dig, Rock Slide, Seismic Toss, and Rock Climb. Next we got Sheldon the Blastoise at level 65. He is caught up with our MVP, which we'll see in a bit. The Soft Sand held item is there. We got the Calm Nature. Torrent is the natural ability for a Blastoise. And we got Surf, Ice Beam, Earthquake, and Bide. Next is Machamp at level 65, holding the Fist Plate. Adamant-natured Machamp, very good. I made a point to mention that when we did our photo club upload on Instagram. He has the Guts ability and Strength, Vital Throw, Rock Smash, and Earthquake. And here he is, the MVP. You know it, I know it. Sprout, our level 66 Venusaur. He's actually ahead of the team, I realize now. He has the Metal Plate. He is a relaxed Pokemon with Overgrow, and moves are Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Toxic, and Leech Seed. Alright, so let's just kind of speed things along. From what I recall, I think Buck goes to the survival area. And head over this way, see if we can track this guy down. Steals our Magma Stone. What nerve. Like, he only had one Pokemon, and I dragged him through. I kept him safe. Does he actually go to the main area? Maybe. Hang on, let me check out some of the buildings here. I don't think he'd be in the shop. Would he be in the Pokemon Center? I don't see him here. Where would he be? He probably is in the main battle zone. Wait, never mind. Aha, I had a feeling. Give me that Magma Stone, buddy. Gotcha, Gramps. I'll put the Magma Stone back. That Magma Stone was keeping the Volcano Pokemon under control. It's alright, though. I can go put it back myself. Can you, though? I mean, you only had one Pokemon. You say that Magma Stone was found? The legend was true, then. If so, the Volcano's Pokemon may awaken and cause an eruption. Well, I guess we better go stop this. Alright, so is there any quicker way to get back there? I don't think we can... Can we fly to Stark Mountain? Probably not, but I'm going to give it a shot. No. Oh, come on. I got to walk all that way. I think probably the desert is the quickest way. We'll head up that way. So I'm happy to say I am doing the thing that a responsible YouTuber should do. I am forgetting about Pokemon Go for today. I'm going to be getting these videos done. Actually, I just finished recording a Pokemon TCG video for you guys to check out. And I'm making sure you guys have content while I go off and gallivant across the town trying to get Regirocked. So, I'm happy that I'll have content for you guys to check out. Which maybe means sort of a, what would you call it, good karma? By making sure you guys have stuff prepared to watch, I might get good luck and get myself a nice Regirock today. How about that? I wouldn't say no to that for sure. Alright, we've gotten past the desert. We've got to make our way back up the mountain again, which is great. Why couldn't Buck just... I mean, okay, I guess he had to go talk to his grandpa to find out he has to put the stone back. Do I have something that can catch a Pokemon? Hello, Spearow! It's so cool seeing the, previous... Or, what do you call it? Gen 3 and earlier, the previous to Gen 4 Pokemon in the wild. Because, like, that's something that we're going to get into when I talk about Unova, when we start Pokemon White. The fact that in that game, you were forced to use nothing but new Pokemon. You didn't have the option for older species. So certain things like, say, Weezing or Spearow that we just saw, it's cool to see them, you know, we haven't forgot about them, which is kind of like, almost like Gen 3 had that feel to me as well, where you had some previous Pokemon, but a lot of them were new species. And like when Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness came out, excuse me, the fact that you could get the older Pokemon from those games transferred down using the Game Boy Advance, GameCube link cable. So when I was playing through Sapphire, my first time playing through it, I had a thought, like, you know, is the game even programmed to have the older Pokemon in the data? Because I had no idea either way if that was a thing or not, and I thought maybe they couldn't have done that, maybe there wasn't enough space. But the fact that you could send down the Shadow Pokemon after you purified them and get, say, like Noctowl, the different starters like Totodile and things like that, Numel, I'm sure, was one of them too. Like, that just showed that they had so much more programmed into the Gen 3 games like Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald that I wasn't aware of. Because, of course, you don't really get... Do you get a national dex in that? I'm sure you do. I just don't know when or where. And just the fact that you had to fill it up was a thing, too. Oh, we got a Wild Fearow. I ain't a Fearow to you. I'm really hoping I can get Regirock today. Although, I was talking to my cousin Vex, and I said, even if I don't happen to get Regirock today, Sunday, as I'm recording this, then Monday is when the Celebi research begins. I could have a chance to get it during... have a chance to get Regirock during our Celebi research. It'd be really cool. What if they say one of the research tasks is complete a, you know, say a level 5 raid or something like that? And what if Regirock, well, Regirock would clearly be that raid, unless I can get a Mewtwo EX pass invite. There was a level 3 raid happening yesterday at the Loyalist Burial Grounds where we have our EX raids at. And it was a Machamp. I couldn't really solo that. And the past couple of days have been just terrible for trying to get people together for doing raids. Like, no one seemed to be in the area. In fact, I had quite a day yesterday where there was a Regirock at one of the, like, the central gym uptown, our city market here in my hometown. And I would have expected a fair amount of people to be there. There was only 4 others before I showed up, and they couldn't take it on themselves. I said, I will jump in if we get more people. No one else showed up. It's like, who doesn't want to get Regirock? Then I had, when I got home, there was a raid at the gym just up the street from my house, Regirock. I stayed there for about 15-20 minutes. No one showed up for that one. Fine. So I went home. Excuse me. And in the midst of preparing to record yesterday's Pokemon Pearl episode, there was another Regirock raid right at the gym across the street from my house. But sadly, no one showed up for that either. And it's like, why, people? There's so many. Like, we could be taking these things down, getting all these Regirock. I mean, I kind of, you know, personally, I want the help because I can't do it on my own, of course. But still, we could have done so many Regirock raids. As long as we had the passes, of course. Alright, what is the quickest way? We're going to go this way. I think we can probably just use a rock climb shortcut, too, like we're doing right now. Does this take us up to the top? I think this matches up with the cavern. Excuse me. So yeah, this might be the final episode of Pearl because we're getting attacked right outside the door. We have this big epic showdown coming up. It's funny we're seeing all these Magcargo though, because if you didn't see the Pokemon TCG video today, now, just to sidetrack myself in the middle of a thought process, I gotta stop referring to things on the day it happened, because if I'm gonna start doing a bunch of pre-recorded stuff, I don't know what day they're gonna be going up. For this moment though, I do. Anyway, where are you, Buck? Oh wait, I guess Buck put the stone back. We got us something here. But it's funny that we're seeing all these Magcargo, because they played an integral role in the TCG deck that I put together today. Alright, so we have us what is known as a Heatran. How do we deal with a Heatran? It is fire and steel. I know that much. Let me just check the moves. I know we just did a team recap, but I want to see what can I do to weaken this thing. We do not have a way to put this to sleep or anything. I should have thought of that. Well, we can just go in and throw caution to the wind, see what we can do. How many Pokeballs do we have? 55. That should be enough, right? Probably. So who's our best way to weaken this thing? Well, Sheldon resists both stabs. So we're going to let Sheldon lead the way. We're not going to surf this thing. But, actually, we could try Bide. We could try to Earthquake it. Excuse me. Actually, no, we might surf it, because it has pretty good stats. I don't know what level it's going to be at. Let's just not waste any more time. Let's go for Go-Gobo. Go-Bo-Bo-Bo. Really? Alright. Heatran. Now, just to let you know, I have never captured Heatran in my first playthrough of Pearl. Oh, it's level 70. Yeah, we can surf that. Actually, we could Earthquake that. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to see what Earthquake can do. We're not that offensive. But back in my original playthrough, I did not manage to catch Heatran. I did weaken it down to the minimal. I think I was doing the sleep tactics to try to catch it better. And it actually struggled itself unconscious, which was not preferable. Alright, don't faint. Thank you. Look at that damage. That's nice. So I'm thinking, would Ice Beam knock it out? I'm not going to try that just yet. We're going to start throwing some Pokeballs. Where's my Roto catch when I need it, right? Oh, yeah, so Heatran, back in Gen 4, my original playthrough of Pearl, Heatran and Uxie both knocked themselves out to struggle. And that was the point of my career, let's call it, where I was like, you know what? If a Pokemon would rather knock itself out than get caught by me, I don't want it. Because clearly, I am not special enough for that particular Pokemon. I almost clicked Run, by the way, just so you know. That would have been kind of bad. This is your one chance, and people kind of freak out. They're like, save your game before you find it. It's like, no. There's more excitement if you don't save your game, you know? And I've said this before. I'm going to reiterate because I'm sure we have a lot of time just to yammer on about stuff. Saving before a one-time encounter eliminates the whole one-time encounter aspect of it. So, like, I don't want to save before going for a legendary. If I catch it, great. If I don't, life does still go on. Kind of like what I'm talking about with Regirock. You know, we didn't get any Regirock raids completed yesterday. It would have been nice to catch it, add it to the Pokedex, but if it just so happens that I never managed to meet up with the team and complete a Regirock raid and catch it, I'm going to keep moving on. I never caught Rayquaza yet in Pokemon Go. In fact, also the first 2 times that Lugia was in the game, I never caught it either of those times. I did catch it the 3rd time it came in during the Go Fest, but I didn't catch it the first 2 times, and it's just like, you know what? My life continues. I can just relax and, you know, whatever happens, happens. That being said, though, I feel a little bit of slight pressure when I'm filming a video for you folks to check out, because I want to actually catch this thing. Wait a minute, I could probably Ice Beam, because it's double resistant to ice. Well, I'm going to hold that in reserve. I'm going to first of all max, nope, full restore. Let's heal off the burn as well. Maybe when we drop down to 40-ish Pokeballs, I shall go for an Ice Beam. I'm curious to see how little will Ice Beam do. Now, you know, I'll probably get a critical hit, because that's how things work in the world of Pokemon. Alright, let's go Pokeball. We can get this thing. I know it. Go, yeah. So, K, leave a comment down below. How many Pokeballs do you think it'll take to catch this? We started with 55, I believe that was. Was it 55? I can check the video in a little bit, but we're at 50 Pokeballs left right now. Don't burn me. Thank you. This is, yeah, we're at 50 right now. So, like I say, at 40, maybe 30. I don't know. I'll try the Ice Beam. No, maybe 40. I don't want to waste too much time. We'll give it 10 more chances to stay, and then I'll try Ice Beam. Imagine if we were lucky enough to freeze it. That would be amazing. I've always thought that the thing on Heatran's head, I mean, technically I guess it's just part of its head, but it looks like a spaceship. Or some sort of like some sort of a plane. Like, look at it. You see like the cockpit bubble, like the canopy. You see the wings on the side. Doesn't that look like like maybe a drone or something like that? It'd be neat if they made some sort of, like, what if they made a Mega Heatran and it had something like that, like the piece comes off and form, like almost like a parental bond, maybe. Let's go with Hypo Potion. Keep Sheldon nice and healthy. I would rather not lose a Pokemon to do a legendary capture, although that happened in Pokemon Crystal. So I didn't know this at the time, but when you complete the Team Rocket game or Goldenrod City radio tower thing, you get the Clear Bell. And of course, I'm used to getting like either the silver wing or the rainbow wing, whatever game you're playing, gold or silver. But you get the clear bell, and that gets you to meet Suicune. So I met up with Suicune. My team included a coughing at the time. No longer includes a coughing because Suicune decided, let's knock you out with a nice bubble beam. So we lost coughing, but we did capture the Suicune, which was nice. And actually, very important that we caught that. It saved us during our battle against Gym Leader Claire. The Kingdra that she uses at level 40. Suicune was at level 40, so we were even there. And although we weren't really super effective against it, I found the Whirlpool attack surprisingly useful. Whirlpool itself does little damage to a Dragon Water type. Technically Water Dragon type, to say it in order. But we got the residual damage every turn. That was actually pretty good. Ah, we got burned. I was going to say, I can probably last one more turn before healing. Not with that burn, though. We're going to go for a full restore. There we go. So how many Pokeballs do we have left? If we did start at 55, we'll be 15 down by the time we hit 40. Do you like the legendary music, though? This just sounds so spooky. So intense, so epic. Oh no, we got fire spinned. Imagine being fire spinned and burned. And sandstormed, or hailed, or something like that. That would be a lot of residual damage. Alright, we got 46 left. Come on. 6 more attempts, then we'll try the Ice Beam. Heatran, don't! Just stay, would ya? See, if I was actually smart to do stuff like this, I would prepare properly. I would bring something that could put things to sleep. I would go for False Swipe, bring a False Swipe Pokemon with me. Marowak could actually get False Swipe. I use him quite a bit in some of the playthroughs. So I could do that eventually. But you know what? Right now, this is exciting. Going in underprepared. I've done that a lot too during the Ultra Warp riding on Pokemon Ultra Sun, where, what was it? There was one time I was fighting Zerkature, I think it was, and I had to figure out a way. How do I put this to sleep because it's touching the ground? At one point I realized, wait a minute, the brain, my Hypno, has telekinesis. Telekinesis will levitate the opposing Pokemon. It takes them off the ground. Visibly, they still look like they're standing, right? But it takes them off the ground, so it's no longer touching the electric terrain it sets up, which means it can fall asleep. Another thing about telekinesis is it renders the Pokemon unable to dodge any hits. I'm pretty sure, for 3 turns. No burn, no burn. Good. Lava Plume, more slight damage, but I think we'll be okay. I kind of want to jump the gun a bit. I'm going to use one more Pokeball here. Then I'm going to try the Ice Beam. I just want to see. Will it do the trick? Also, I didn't set a timer for today. I could be way over time, for all I know. Alright, we're going to heal first, then we'll try the Ice Beam. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. Ah, I got burned again. What's the burn chance on Lava Plume? 1 in 2? 1 in 1? I don't know. Quite a bit. Yay, no Fire Spin anymore. Alright, full restore. Now, wouldn't it be something if this was a max stat Heatran? I highly doubt it. I don't think my luck is that good. I could have also done the shiny hunting. You know, some people say you should save, reset, do your shiny hunt. I feel that would be more with a live stream kind of format, because, like, you know, that way you're there as it happens and you feel the excitement, just like I would. All right, we're gonna try the Ice Beam. Restrain yourself, Sheldon. No critical hits. Our speed cannot go any lower than it is now. Oh, we can easily Ice Beam. Let's do another one then. I had a feeling I wasn't going to do a lot, but I would expect about half of what it had left. Hey, not complaining. More chances to freeze, the better. Now, excuse me, I think, does Lava Plume... Oh! I think Lava Plume has a chance to thaw you out from within. Alright, we ain't getting any lower than that. That critical hit, if that came 1 turn later... Oh, man. Oh, I was going to say, was that it? Was that the last one we needed to hit it with? Alright, from here on, let's just throw Pokeball, Pokeball, Pokeball. I could use Ultra Ball, but I kind of like, as I've said many times before, the classic red and white. That is my preferred kind of Pokeball. I also like it for the added challenge, you know? Yeah, you could use an Ultra Ball. Better chance to catch things, but it's like... I guess all that really does, if I use a Pokeball, is prove that I am born under the astrological sign of Taurus. I am stubborn. I stick to my guns. I don't let anything change my opinion. Well, usually, but all it means is I'll be using, say, twice as many Pokeballs as I would if I was using Ultra Balls. So I think Ultra Ball has a twice as good catch rate as opposed to Pokeballs. I think Great Ball is 1.5 times the catch rate. So I guess, now that I've talked it out, showing off a Pokeball, or a Pokemon you caught in a Pokeball, doesn't necessarily prove any better skills. Not that that's what I'm doing. I'm not trying to say, look how skilled I am, I Pokeballed it. It all comes down to random numbers, right? So, it's not so much, look how skilled I am. It's more, look how patient I am. Look how stubborn I am to Pokeball this legendary Pokemon. Especially this one that keeps breaking out without shaking once. We can't weaken you any lower. If only we had gotten the freeze. Especially since this thing is going to run out of PP eventually. Excuse me, there's a slight chance of what we could do. I could go into Fluffy and Metronome up Spore. Do you think that's worth the risk? Wouldn't that be an amazing showdown, though? Amazing finale to catching this Heatran. If we happened to Metronome, not even Spore, but anything like Stun Spore or Thunder Wave, Glare, or something like that, wouldn't that be wild? I do think it's better to keep our resisted Pokemon in here, though. Fortunately, Fluffy's not a fairy type, so if we did bring her in, the Iron Head would not be super effective. At least not until Gen 6 comes along. Alright, come on, Pokeball, do this thing. As much as I love the music, I kind of want to hear the dee-dee-doo, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-doo. Would you just shake at least a bit? Pull the Polaroid picture magic. Shake it, would ya? That was one of the... What song was that? Hey Ya, I think? Pokeball, here we go. But I find it funny. I guess they've come back. I was going to say, Polaroid pictures have not been around forever. Back in the day, it was an automatic photo where if you take a picture, it comes out on like a white piece of like plastic, basically. And it was normally, photos would have to be taken to a photo lab, a dark room. And I feel like I'm an old man. But feel free to look this up on Google or YouTube, see what it was all about. But there would be a whole process of developing photos. Polaroids kind of changed that in that it was like an instant photo. You would have to take a while to let the developer ink kind of do its thing. But they would say if you shake the photo, it would make the colors come in quicker. That's where that expression, shake it like a Polaroid picture, comes from. I remember when I was in high school, one of our, it was a media studies class, I think, we actually did the whole process of developing photos from an actual piece of film. It was actually pretty cool. You can also do that in Maniac Mansion for the NES, and probably whatever other systems it was for as well. But a whole, like, it is really cool to see the photos come in, because there's from what I remember, let me see if I can remember the process of developing photos, because, like, is there anything really else to talk about right now? Not so much. I'm just trying to catch this thing. You take a photo with a camera, and it goes onto a piece of, like, brown film inside the camera. Keep that film away from the light, because the way photos work is the light exposure coming in through the lens gets imprinted and burned onto the film, so any other light on that film would completely eliminate the picture. Why did we get burned again? But you would then take the film into a dark room where only, like, it's got a red light in there, so it's not a dark room, but it's got a red light in there which does not burn extra light onto film. And you would then put the my Pokeballs, there we go. So you would then take the film and picture by picture, you put it in like an enlarger, and you put the frame in. It enlarges onto a piece of photo paper that you have down below, and it just kind of burns the image down again. Because what's really cool, if you look at a piece of film, it is in photo negative. So the darker spots look white, the whiter spots look dark. That's because the white part of a piece of film blocks more light. So that when you imprint it down to a piece of photo paper, the whiter parts of the film come out darker. Full restore. No, not full restore. Whatever, we'll use it. Oh, you're burned, right? Never mind. Anyway, so it burns the image down onto the photo paper, and then you put it through, I think there's like 2 or 3 trays of different kind of fluid, developer fluid. And as you put the piece of white paper, because you can't see the way the light's burned onto it, you put the piece of white paper in the developing fluid, you start to see the image come to life. Just like if you look at a Polaroid. and it's really cool. Alright, let's go for another Pokeball. Come on! There's not much more I can talk about as far as photo development. I mean, I'm sure that was exciting stuff. But it's for me to tell you about it is one thing, but for you guys to actually see it in action is a whole another thing. So I would say if you're interested in what old-timey folks like myself used to do back in the day, go ahead and look it up on YouTube. I'm sure there'll be a video documenting, or documentarying, I guess, detailing it. There we go. And it does look pretty cool. Now, if anyone out there has actually developed actual photos, I said actual twice there, no big deal, but if anyone has, do you think it's cool? Or do you prefer things nowadays where it's just like you can take a digital photo and save it, share it, copy it, make multiples, multiple files, and then just print them out? It's totally fine, but it's like people say, as things change, as technology changes, you lose a little bit of maybe the practical aspect of it and stuff like that. Like back in the day when ebooks were first becoming a thing, you could get like, what are some of the names of the devices? I'm not sure, but like, you can get electronic books. You can just like swipe the page on screen, read your book. Back when those were becoming a thing, people who liked physical books were getting kind of disappointed and upset because they're like, that, books have to be physical. You need, like, how are you going to know what you have? People have like big, huge bookshelves in their house. They would have all their books lined up, almost like a library. And then you have the other side of the coin where people would say like, yeah, but why do you need to keep those books? You've read the book once. You should know that, you know what happens in it, yada, yada, yada. And I wasn't that sort of mean about it, but I was also thinking like, yeah, why do you really need the physical book once you've read it? It's like, you don't need to have that stacked up. It'd be kind of cool to have it all contained in one little spot. So I didn't quite see what the book people were talking about. Then along came digital downloads for video games, and you can get all these games copied onto like an SD card or whatever, and you have this whole library of video games to play whenever you feel like it. And when that became a thing, like I have a bunch of downloaded games on the Wii from the Virtual Console. You got some for like the 3DS. I look over at my wall unit over here. I got a bunch of CDs, 3DS games. I got a bunch of GameCube and Wii games, and I'm like, I kind of want to have the cases though. I like the physical games. And that's when I realized I know what the book people were talking about now. I get the whole feeling of like, I want the physical stuff. So I apologize, well, not directly to anybody, but in my mind, which is just as good, I apologize to all the book people for denouncing them for their love of physical copies of their books and stuff. That's when I realized I was wrong to think otherwise. Alright, I think I've rambled enough. With all that stuff now being said, it is time for Heatran to stay in this Pokeball. Don't you think? If you have any feedback on what I just said, all that stuff I rambled on about, feel free to let me know down in the comments. And assuming I can be somewhat punctual on responding to comments this time, which I always say I want to be much more, timely with that, but hopefully maybe I'll stick to it this time, then let me know what your thoughts are on photo development. Yay! And just like maybe, physical versus digital downloads of books and games and stuff like that. Do you have a preference either way? Right now, it's like, well, I haven't actually bought a new game in forever, so I guess technically that's a lie. I did buy Pokemon Crystal as a digital download for my 3DS Virtual Console, so I just completely lied to y'all. But since that is currently only available as a digital download in the 3DS system, then that I don't mind, of course, because that's the only way for me to get that, only way to get some special hidden ability Gen 2 Pokemon for our giveaways. Come on. If you make me lose all 50-some of my Pokeballs, I ain't going to be happy. We're down to 26 remaining. It's like, how? You can't get this any lower. I tell you what, if we get down to 15 Pokeballs, I am going to bring in Fluffy. I'm going to attempt the metronome just to see what we get, because this thing's going to knock itself out soon. Hey, no more fire spin. How about that? 25. So we got, I'm going to give you, I'm sticking to the number this time. I'm going to give you 10 more chances, Heatran, before we risk knocking you out with a metronomed up Hydro Cannon. Thank you. See, you just got to talk to them, scare them into staying in that Pokeball. That I never accomplished back in my original Pearl playthrough. This thing knocked itself out. Heatran's data added to the Pokedex. Heatran, the Lava Dome Pokemon. It dwells in volcanic caves. It digs in with its cross-shaped feet to crawl on ceilings and walls. Sounds creepy. Do we want to give this thing a nickname? Nah. We're going to keep it as Heatran. How about that? We did it! Congratulations to the Professor Chaz! Woo! Took a lot of Pokeballs, but I want to go back and check this thing out before we end off the video for sure. So, as we're getting close to the finale for today's video, let me know, is there anything else you want to see me accomplish here in Pokemon Pearl? Because as far as getting this, Heatran is concerned, I think that's basically the last thing that we can do. Wait! Is it? Hang on a second. Let's go to Canale City. I want to see something. There's another thing, another Pokemon we can get, I believe. We're going to check things out. I'm going to save that for later. I might do some stuff off camera and see if there's anything else we can accomplish here. But for right now, let's just check out Heatran really quick. See what this thing has going for it. Where are you at? Way over here. Alright, Heatran. Level 70, Fire Steel type. I guess we can't see what PP it had remaining. Oh, it's a sassy Pokemon. Flash Fire ability. And we got Scary Face, Lava Plume, Fire Spin, Iron Head. Pretty decent stats. Look at that. Okay, I've never really dealt with Heatran before, so I'm looking special attack, special defense are both good. That's probably why the Ice Beam did nothing. Pretty cool. Very slow as well. But anyway, so we did get the Heatran. Nice accomplishment right there. But with that accomplishment, that's going to bring us to an end, or the end of today's episode. Possibly the end of the series, too, because if there's nothing else really to accomplish, I guess we can get moving on into Pokemon White anytime now. So I want to say thank you, folks, for tuning in today. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode of Pokemon Pearl. And if you did, feel free to drop me a like down below. Of course, as I always say, or usually say, if you didn't like it, you can always throw that dislike down there. Just make sure, let me know what did I do wrong so I know what to improve for future videos. I like to help improve the content so you guys have some pretty cool stuff to enjoy on a regular basis. Speaking of a regular basis, if you want to subscribe to the channel and you're not yet subscribed, you can do so to get some regular Pokemon content on a usually daily basis here on the channel. And if you want to see some more episodes of Pokemon Pearl leading us to this point, you can check out the link in the description to the playlist, but there's also some links in the description to my Twitter, my Instagram, and Discord. You can follow me on all of those, talk amongst your fellow fans on Discord, get some possible trades set up for, like, say, TCG Online, say Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and friend codes for Pokemon Go, all that kind of good stuff. With all that, though, I guess it's time to wrap things up for the day. Once again, folks, thank you for tuning in and checking things out today as we captured the Heatran. Professor Chaz is signing off, and I will catch you next time.